Speaker sends warning after lobbyists install art installation in beehive. Parliament Speaker Jerry Brownlee has rebuked an MP, not named him, for allowing lobbyists to construct an art installation. I like how they put speech marks around that, which means it's not really an art installation, and film in the beehive a few days before the budget was released. The Taxpayers Union released video filmed from the Beehive Banquet Hall, the same space the budget was released, that argued cuts to the public service are not significant. I don't know if we need to watch this whole thing, but it's pretty terrible. It's a pretty terrible video.
We're here at Parliament today unveiling a brand new modern art installation in the Beehive. Come along and take a look.
It actually doesn't make sense either. This is what I tweeted out about it today. They talk about this being a massive difference, and they use these boxes, and the boxes between the earlier ones and the later ones don't look like a massive difference. Yeah, it looks like it's a bit more, but it certainly doesn't look like a massive difference.
Brand new art installation here at the Beehive, but it's not funded by you, the taxpayer. Oh, imagine this box.
But do you know what I thought about that today? Well, who gives you guys money? Who donates to you?
Where did the money for the boxes come, taxpayer onion? Where did it come from?
But if they're getting donations, those donations are otherwise known as taxpayers. So if you are donating money somewhere and you live in New Zealand and you're paying tax, you're a taxpayer. So these money for these are coming from taxpayers. Well, I think it's unintelligent argument.
Represents 1,000 bureaucrats. That's a lot, and it's expensive.
Yeah, and look, they do this.
But in just 6 short years,
look at this.
That number has grown by more than 39%.
This is a massive amount.
To 65,669. That is a massive increase.
So, Chewy, from a marketing point of view, looking at those two stacks there, does the one on the right look like a massive increase to the one on the left? Because to me, it doesn't. So I think they've actually failed in their messaging as well as being a bit dodgy about where they're doing it.
But Pat, it's taller, and taller is worse. Like the Taxpayers Onion are quite well known for using some pretty shonky graphs, and I like that their art installation, which is just literally a pile of like these commentary I could make there, right? They make this smug thing that it's an art installation, no taxpayer money went into it, right? It's a pile of fucking boxes, you nonce. Like you wouldn't know art if it bit you on the dick. Jesus. Oh, God, I hate the taxpayer. They are an AstroTurf group set up by Atlas to make other AstroTurf groups. Why? Who invited them into Parliament? We know it's some ACT MP.
Yeah.
And it was so egregious that it made fucking Jerry Brownlee have to do something. And he said, you can't do that. They can't film in the Parliament. You know, it's just dumb. All of their arguments are dumb. Like, whenever there is funding for the arts, they'll have to criticize it, but it's funny. It's always brown art or it's always weird art that they want to criticize. They never criticize the funding that the Royal New Zealand Ballet gets or the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra. Like it's just the same old shit all over again. They also don't give their increase in bureaucrats any context at all. Like what's happened over the last 6 years? Fuck knows. Has our population gone up? I don't know. Was there any events that we needed more bureaucrats for? No. What do bureaucrats do? Nothing of value, clearly. It's all bullshit. And the other thing that I have a real fucking problem with when it comes to the Taxpayers Union, why do these people that represent that non-union always look like leftover dough that is just people have stacked up? Like, Jordan looks like he's got the most punchable face in the world, and that guy's running a good argument for number 2. What the fuck? Why do we pay these guys any attention? Why does anyone pay them any attention? They're just nonsense.
Yeah. I think the point you made there amongst your rant and body
There's a
and
point
body
there, I'm sure.
and body shaming was the thing about numbers. Numbers go up bad. I mean, we still have not yet heard what any of these groups, be it the national-led government, be it the Taxpayers Union, explain to us how many bureaucrats would be a good number. Remember, I've used this example before. Sorry if you've heard it from me before, but if you've got a water tank and you've got a pipe at the top of the water tank and the tank has to be filled all the way up for the pipe to receive the water, and when National comes in, the water tank is filled to the top, so water's flowing, and then they reduce it by half, and then the water's not flowing, and then Labor comes in and they put it back to full. They've doubled the number of water, doubled the number of bureaucrats, but now it's flowing correctly, and they come in and they go, bah, they doubled the number, we're going to reduce it back to what it was. It doesn't mean it functions. No one has explained to us, no one, and I guess you could say including Labor, what the number of bureaucrats we need to run this country. All you hear from the right is too many. So therefore, following their logic, 0 would probably be the best number of bureaucrats to have. But because we always hear too many. That video is basically saying 4,000 is not enough. More, please. More. Too many. But no one's told us how many are actually needed to run it. Do we need 1? Do we need 5? Do we need 50? Do we need 500? Do we need 50,000? No one said that. And that's actually all that matters. Like I've said a dozen times before, smaller government is not better. Bigger government is not better. Better government is better. And however a government runs at its best with enough people to do what we need to do, and to be fair, and no more, we've never been told that number. We've just been told the right say too many, and then the left build up from, but they never say too little. But they start to build the numbers up again. It's frustrating.
I mean, again, it's that pervasive myth that government service and public service is like it was in the 80s, where it was a jobs program, and it's gliding on. It's that classic thing of paper shufflers and that sort of thing. I know a lot of really good, really passionate people that are worried about big segments of New Zealand's population that work very, very hard, and they're lumped in with that perception of what public service is. And can you imagine what that's like to see you described in that way by the government that you work for? Like, imagine that if you were at a fucking work dinner and your boss just spends the whole time telling everybody what a shiftless bunch of pricks work in the loading dock, and you just got to sit there and take it. Like, it's shitty. It is so shitty that is the narrative that has been allowed to. Oh well, that's the narrative that's been allowed to remain almost unchallenged by the media. Again, no context to that number, no context to that growth, no answer to how many is a good amount.